Vanny. Vanny isn't made of metal. She doesn't creak or hiss or glitch through cameras. She actually skips. That's what makes her worse, because she's not some broken down robot from the 80s. She's a human, just one who wears a stitched up bunny suit and murders children with a smile. Her real name is Vanessa, a security guard at the Pizzaplex. Blonde hair, green eyes, normal job, but when the lights go out, she puts on the mask. Big red eyes, buck teeth, torn patches, and then she starts hunting. Vanny doesn't follow scripts. In some parts of Security Breach, she floats in like she owns the place. In others, she vanishes completely, just her voice whispering in the background while bots close in. But if she sees you, she will run into you, faster than anything else in the building. She's ruthless, willing to kill anyone, even disassembling other animatronics if they get in her way. She used to be sweet, a baker, a puppy lover, someone who sent herself fake Valentine's chocolates. But she got pulled into the VR world, found Glitch Trap, and never came back the same. Now she follows his voice, even when it tells her to kill. Glamrock Chica. Glamrock Chica is all pink glitter, fake smiles, and trash compactor breath. Well, she literally did eat trash, so that would probably explain it. She's supposed to be the band's guitarist, but spends more time digging through garbage than tuning her strings. Obsessed with food, easily distracted by snacks, and fast enough to catch you if you hesitate. She pretends to care, offering candy, mentioning your parents, but the voice is fake. Pre-recorded lines with a knife behind them. Get too close, and she drops the act. Arms twitch, eyes narrow, then she bolts. Gregory crushed her in a trash compactor and ripped out her voice box. That didn't stop her. Shattered Chica shows up with no beak, cracked limbs, and one arm stripped down to endoskeleton. Her head twitches, her legs drag, but she keeps chasing, even when she can barely stand. In Ruin, she's even worse. Eyes hanging out, face half gone, legs splintered, there's moldy cheese smeared across her mouth, and a full trash bag jammed in her torso. Her earrings and bow are missing, her voice is gone, and yet she still turns toward food like it's instinct. She doesn't talk, she barely walks, but she's not dead, just running on impulse, like her programming got stuck on eat everything and forgot how to shut off. The Daycare Attendant. The Daycare Attendant, otherwise known in-game as Sun and Moon, is one animatronic with two personalities. Sun is the normal, friendly, not-so-scary one, and Moon is the one that comes out when the lights go out. Same body, same jester outfit, same cracked smile, but everything sweet and playful goes away, and what's left is a silent, upside-down nightmare with a bedtime obsession and a habit of crawling on ceilings. In Security Breach, Moon isn't loud or frantic. He glides through the dark, limbs bending the wrong way, climbing walls like the laws of physics don't apply to him. The second the lights fail, he descends from above, twisting, grinning, and pulling you into the dark like it's part of the routine. When Sun begs you to keep the lights on, it's not to protect you, it's more because he's terrified of what's sharing his skin. After the Pizzaplex falls apart, Moon takes over. He shoves Sun into a sleep state and controls the body almost full time. But when Cassie finds him in Ruin, the two sides start fighting again. Sun's voice cracks through the static, begging to be free, while Moon mocks him from the same mouth. Eventually, Cassie reboots them into Eclipse, a damaged fusion of both sides. The sun rays are broken, the cap is rotting, half the face is gone, but the voice, calm and polite, almost gentle. Glamrock Freddy. Glamrock Freddy is basically the only animatronic who doesn't try to kill you. He opens his chest so you can hide. He gives advice, watches your back, and even sacrifices himself to keep Gregory alive. In a building full of killers, he's the one thing that feels safe. But safe doesn't mean harmless. He's still a Freddy model, still built on the same tech that's crushed kids, worn corpses, and glitched into possession more times than Fazbear's changed logos. The shell is friendly, sure, but if someone flipped a single switch, it'd be over fast. Freddy has the strength to hold off Moon, tank hits from Roxanne, and yank open sealed doors. And then there's the prototype. In Ruin, deep underground, you find his headless body, cracked open and labeled prototype. Twisted metal, torn wires, and an empty shell that used to be Glamrock Freddy, like someone peeled the suit off and left the body to rot. In some endings, Gregory escapes with Freddy's head in a bag. In others, Freddy is left behind, silent, empty, and slowly shutting down. But the body still works, and if the wrong voice ever gets inside it again, you're not getting a second warning. He's not your enemy, but he's still a Fazbear, which means being friendly is just one update away from turning fatal. Withered Foxy. Withered Foxy is what's left when you don't upgrade. Instead, just shove the old parts in a closet and hope nobody notices. He was meant to be retrofitted, cleaned up, and brought back for the grand reopening. That never happened for obvious reasons when you look at him. Now he's missing chunks of fur, his ears half gone, and his suit hangs off him like wet fabric. But he still moves fast. Unlike the others, he never got stripped for parts. His limbs are still attached, his jaw still works, but his teeth don't belong to a costume anymore. They're metal, jagged, and exposed, like he's already halfway through biting something. In Five Nights at Freddy's 2, he sprints straight down the hallway like he's too broken to wait. You don't catch him on cameras for long, just a blur, a stutter, and then his hook is in the room. He ignores the Freddy mask trick too. You flash your light and he flinches. That's all you've got. Blink too slow and he's in your face before your hand moves. So if you don't move fast enough, he'll jump across the hallway straight to your face. He's damaged, outdated, but still dangerous. They scrapped him for being too aggressive. And the worst part is that they didn't fix him. They just left the rage inside the metal and hoped no one flipped the switch again. Toy Bonnie. Toy Bonnie thinks he's a rock star. Shiny blue casing, full eyelashes, glossy cheeks, and a voice that never shuts up about being famous. On stage, he's the face of Fazbear 2.0. Cleaner, friendlier, built for safety, but once the lights go out, he drops the act and starts crawling through vents like he's on a mission. He's not subtle. You'll see him looking straight into the cameras with a frozen stare and pupils that shrink the closer he gets. And unlike the others, Toy Bonnie doesn't stop to glitch or twitch. He locks eyes through the camera, holds the pose like it's a performance, and closes in without blinking, like your fear is part of the show. In Five Nights at Freddy's 2, he moves through the right air vent and pops into your office with a smile that feels more personal than it should. The Freddy mask might fool him for a second, but don't wait too long, he's vain, not stupid. In AR, Special Delivery, he's even worse. He brags about being famous, mocks your hiding spots, and still messes up basic counting. But what he lacks in math, he makes up for in ego. He doesn't just want to kill you, he wants you to know it was him, and he wants you to be impressed. Toy Freddy. Toy Freddy looks like he's here for a birthday party he didn't want to attend. Rounder, heavier, slower than the others, but still built to kill with a smile. He's the mascot of the 1987 rebrand, fitted with facial recognition, child safety software, and a criminal database. None of it works. He's got blush cheeks, bright blue eyes, and a matte brown shell that makes him look more like a mascot suit than a machine. But when he steps off stage, his eyes go pitch black. No glow, no pupils, just two voids staring through you. In Ultimate Custom Night, Toy Freddy spends his time playing a knockoff horror game called Five Nights with Mr. Hugs. If he loses, it's your fault, and then he kills you. He's pouty, sarcastic, and genuinely believes he's your friend right up until you disappoint him. Then you're just another thing to remove. In AR Special Delivery, he still talks like a buddy, but it's the kind of friendship that traps you in a room and won't let go. He doesn't understand fear. He just thinks you're bonding, and once he sets his eyes on you, there's no convincing him otherwise. Phantom Puppet. The Phantom Puppet just shows up. Then it stares, and no matter what you do, it stays. When it jump scares you, it locks eyes and floods the room with distorted, glitchy noise that feels like it's scrambling your brain. You'll see it flicker on cam 8, burnt, motionless, maybe just a glitch, but the second you drop the monitor, it's in your face. Blackened eyes, melted mask, watching you from inches away. You can't fight it, you can't hide, you just sit there while it blocks your screen and lets the rest of the Nightmare Gang creeps get closer. While it floats across your view, Springtrap moves in. The puppet never touches you, but it's the reason you get touched at all. And the worst part is that it doesn't blink, doesn't flinch, it just looms for 17 full seconds. Silent, broken, 17 long seconds that feel like an hour, and far too calm about it, like it isn't here to hurt you, just to watch what it does. Nightmare. Nightmare is what shows up after fear has already done its job. Black fur, glowing red eyes, and a translucent shell that barely hides the endoskeleton inside, like the suit itself is just shadows stitched around metal. If you brighten the image, you can see right through him, except the mouth. That part stays solid, for a reason. He looks like Nightmare Fredbear stripped of color and dipped in something worse. His yellow bow tie is the only thing that hasn't rotted. Everything else, ribs, claws, teeth, are ready to tear something open. In Five Nights at Freddy's 4, Nightmare comes at the end. Final level. The last thing you see before the dream turns into something else. He surrounds and teleports, flickers in and out of the rooms, like you're seeing him through your own pulse. The longer you survive, the faster he gets. In Ultimate Custom Night, he talks like he's proud of what he's about to do. Sadistic, deep-voiced, and weirdly calm. Like your death is just another part of his routine. He's not a memory, not a malfunction. Nightmare is what happens when the fear itself becomes real, black, grinning, and watching you fall apart from the inside out. Nightmare Bonnie. Nightmare Bonnie is what you'd get if a rabbit costume got into a car crash and never left. His entire chest is ripped open like it's mid-surgery. One arm's missing skin, one leg's just bone and wire, and his jaw is split in two. So when he bites, you see all 4 rows of teeth closing in. He's tall, angular, and stitched together like a bad dream on autopilot, because that's basically what he is. In the world of Five Nights at Freddy's 4, Nightmare Bonnie isn't a full animatronic. He's a costume on rails, turned into a monster through hallucinogenic gas and childhood fear. He shows up straight up on night 1, sneaks in from the left hall, and waits for you to forget which direction to check. No voice and no warning, you just listen to breathing. If you flash the light too fast or too slow, it's already over. The longer you stare, the less he looks like Bonnie, and the more he looks like something that grew teeth just to use them. Nightmare Chica. Nightmare Chica really does fit her name. If the other Chica was scary, this one is the nightmare version of her. Her beak is huge and jagged, stuffed with 2 layers of green-tinted fangs. One eye glows. The other looks fogged over, like it gave up trying to see years ago. Her bib's torn, her stomach is missing, and her legs look dipped in rust. Her jaw splits in half like it's ready to unhinge, and the second you flash your light, she's already halfway in the room. Sometimes you can even hear her in the kitchen. Metal clanking, something wet being chewed, like she's building your last meal out of parts she found on the floor. But the worst part is the cupcake. Nightmare Chica doesn't attack alone. In Five Nights at Freddy's 4, she sends a living, sharp-toothed cupcake to finish what she started. Its eyes glow, its mouth snaps, and it flies at your face like frosting with a death wish. Chica comes through the right hall. You have to listen, really listen, for breathing. One wrong move and the door opens straight into her jaw. And somehow, she's not the loud one. The cupcake is. Screaming, lunging, chewing. Nightmare Foxy. Nightmare Foxy spawns in, sneaks into your closet, and then he starts to evolve. It starts with a toy, a harmless little Foxy plush sitting in the closet, just lying there. But every time you forget to check the closet, he changes. It starts with a plush on the bed, then it vanishes. You check the closet, and now something's breathing behind the door. Next time you look, it has glowing eyes, then teeth, then a hook. Each stage builds until the toy becomes something real, an animatronic crouched in the dark, waiting for you to slip. That closet becomes his nest. If the door's open too long, he slips inside. You won't hear him move, no heavy steps, no breathing, just that slow creak of wood and the sound of your heartbeat catching up. And once he's in there, it's already too late to reset the clock. You have to hold the door shut, force him back, because if you don't, the toy plushie in there turns into something that wants to lunge for your throat. By the time he's fully changed, he's tall, red, and torn in half. Hook up, jaw open, half of his face is gone, and what's left is staring at you with dead orange eyes like he's already planned how this ends. Funtime Freddy. Funtime Freddy sounds like a party trick with a glitch. High-pitched giggles, squeaky jokes, and a tone like he's always 1 second away from snapping a neck. His face splits open in panels, his voice cracks mid-sentence, and if you're hearing him talk, he's probably already too close. He's a clown-colored version of Freddy. White body, purple stomach, cheeks, joints, and eyelids like someone tried to paint fun over murder. One arm has a mic, the other is a puppet. Bon Bon, the blue rabbit, sticks out from his hand hand like a sidekick, but he treats it more like a weapon. Freddy shouts and Bonbon attacks. That's the dynamic. In sister location, you don't see him at first. You hear him laughing behind the walls, crawling through vents, yelling, "Go get him!" like he's coaching a hit job. If you don't close the right door in time, Bonbon jumps for your throat. Wait too long after that, and Funtime Freddy's face opens like a blooming saw trap and ends it himself. He's loud, overconfident, and thrilled about the chase, and when he finally catches you, there's nothing robotic about the scream. It sounds personal, almost proud, like this was all part of the performance. Glitch Trap. Glitch Trap is a malware wearing a mascot. He shows up where code breaks. First, you see the eyes, then a twitchy smile, then a bunny suit stitched like a party mascot and programmed like a Trojan virus. This thing isn't even real, but it still wants out. He was built from corrupted code buried in old Fazbear circuit boards. A golden rabbit with a purple vest waving like a tour guide to your dorm. On the outside, he still looks like Spring Bonnie. On the inside, most players think it's William Afton, aka Springtrap, unloaded and disguised, slowly hijacking the game from inside your headset. It looks like a glitch, it acts like a virus, but it's him writing the rules. In Help Wanted, he's a flicker. By the end, he's fully loaded. By Security Breach, he's behind the curtain of everything, recruiting killers, rerouting AI, whispering through corrupted files. Even Vanessa might have been his first draft, or just his favorite puppet. You can't shut him down, you can only hope someone finishes Princess Quest before he finishes you. Mr. Hippo. Mr. Hippo isn't scary because he jumps out at you. He's scary because he yaps way too much, like for a very long time, and doesn't stop. You'll die and then sit there listening to this animatronic grandpa ramble about rivers, sandwiches, and lost friends like you're trapped in a haunted retirement home. He's a lavender-colored hippo in a tiny top hat with a daisy on his chest. Nothing about him screams danger until he starts monologuing. Then you realize death wasn't the punishment. In Ultimate Custom Night, if you get caught, he doesn't just deliver a one-liner and vanish, he launches into a full campfire story, complete with tangents and life lessons no one asked for. It's long and confusing. Mechanically, he's duct-based. He crawls in slow, same as Pigpatch and Happy Frog. You use sound lures to throw him off, or crank the heat to keep him away. But if he makes it in, then it's over. Not just the night, but your patience.